What's up, everybody? Carpo here, or Josh, if you will. I wanted to readdress something that I've spoke about in the past, freedom. It's one of those things that's kind of cheesy, a cheesy thing to tackle because, you know, I hear the word freedom, I get this thing in my head. It's like, I picture this guy like, yeah, freedom, America, you know, and that's not what I'm about. And I'm also will sometimes picture people who are like, from the other angle, that freedom is within the mind, which to an extent is true. I want to tackle those two issues. First off, the idea that freedom means we do whatever we want. That has to be dispelled, that myth. It has to be, we have to get past our selfish notion that we can do whatever we want, because the only way we can do what we want is to change what we want to do, in the sense that our desires right now are still materialist and still manifest in these material desires, so therefore we tend to kind of step on one another to get what we want. In a society where people were educated and knew better, then people could do whatever they wanted, because they would not have the desire to harm others. Now, the problem lies in the fact that people don't desire to harm others. They just do in the process of accumulating their own goods or doing their own thing in life. It's a byproduct of the Western way of life. For example, a person can't become a billionaire without trotting on innocent people. That's just the way it is. People are going to lose out so one person can make more. This is how in society, if you're getting more than your share, you can always question it. Be like, do I deserve this? Is this something that I should really deserve to attain? Or is it something that I'm kind of taking more than my share? And when it comes down to money, you just become a custodian of the money. But when we're talking about people who trot on others to get where they want, that's just part of life. So the freedom to do whatever you want in the sense of a materialist or capitalist society, it doesn't work. So we have laws, lots of laws in place. And then we argue about the laws. We want laws to protect us, but we don't want laws to harm us or to keep us from doing what we want. However, the same laws that protect one person also keep the same laws that help one person to protect another person also harm another, and vice versa, because people have different interests. So we try to vote on these laws and it becomes chaotic. So freedom obviously is kind of a mixed bag in the Western world. So let's take the opposite end of the spectrum, the idea that freedom is nothing more than mental, which I've tried to process this. A lot of cultures, especially ancient cultures, would cherish the simple life, the humble, poor, farmer, would be the ideal person because of the fact that they had no choice. A lot of people just didn't have a choice. So it became customary to say that good values meant that you were humble, that you did your chores, that you just worked with the earth and you didn't, try to gain too much. Well, this obviously doesn't work either, because we as humans have a desire to move forward. We want to accumulate, we want to create, and that takes dedication. So we love all the things around us and all the things that help us to be human and help us to survive, and make life easier. But at the same time, we criticize those who create those things by saying that we're damaging the environment. But we love our conveniences, and it's this mixed thing. So anyway, the freedom of the mind, by the people who say that freedom's all mental, you don't have to have anything to be free, and you can just ignore the government, let them do their own thing, and you're always free within your mind, even to the extent of people say if you're in prison you're free as long as your mental state is, and that to me is bullshit too, because it's a cop-out. It's a way to say that I'm always free no matter what, and I don't have to put any effort forward as long as I'm thinking that I'm free. Freedom takes action. It's like they say freedom isn't free, right? Freedom ain't free. Well, I hate that slogan, because in a sense freedom is free. It's just that we create a price for it. The price for freedom is created by our lack of understanding of how to manage our own wealth and manage our own society. In other words, we have to defend this, what we call freedom in this country, by going and invading other countries due to either the fact that they have resources that we need, that we can't survive without, or due to the fact that they won't trade with us because of their resources, or whatever the reason might be. You know, there are, the U.S. is no longer the superpower of the world, nor it was really ever. There's this teetering power balance once we got to nuclear weapons, where it was like, you know, mutual destruction was assured if anything were to happen. So there was no sense in trying to say, look, we have bigger bombs. America got smart. We started working on like we put more money into black budget and stuff so we could say, hey, we're defending our freedoms. But really we're just defending our stuff. We're not defending freedom. And I think that there's a major distinction people need to make there. When people say, hey, if you want to live in a free country like America, you know, we need a military, we need to do this. Well, think about what this military is defending. Not what they tell you they're defending or what they tell you they're building, but what's really happening in the world. You know, why are we in 170 countries? You know, why don't they have embassies in our country? It's because we are the big shit, and we think we are anyway. And the problem is that America, we think we have culture, but really we don't. We are all spread out, and Americans are good people. I found there's a lot of people that criticize America, saying, you people are idiots, and you're ignorant, and you don't know what's going on. Well, that's total bogus. Americans are very well aware of what's going on. I don't know what the percentage is, but just like any other country, you know, go to Mexico, you know, start talking about the same shit. How many people are really going to be conscious? Just because people are angry or protesting in their country does not mean that they're aware of what's really going on. And this is something I think a distinction needs to be made. We see from America, we see other countries that are mobbing in the streets and protesting their government. They have completely different situations than we do. These people need to protest. They have some hardcore dictators out there. But sometimes they protest out of just ignorance or fear of things that they don't understand. And we do it too. You know, every culture does it. Every culture spends too much money and too much time on defending things that they don't understand. So in that sense, you really can be free. You can have freedom from the oppression of things, of ignorance, merely by not partaking in it. In other words, choosing to admit that you just don't know certain things, but not being so passive that you say, oh well, we'll never know, and just going on with your life and ignoring the world around you. You see what I mean? It's a balance. It's a balance of action and reaction and non-action. And we all kind of feel it out. We know what works for us. You know, there's people out there who are strong protesters, who are really standing up for what they believe. And there's other people out there who just don't give a shit about anything. You know, these are the weekend warrior, couch potato people that do absolutely nothing with their lives. And a person doesn't have to go out in the world and take action in order to be, you know, I'm not sitting here dissing people who spend time at home. I spend a lot of time at home. But when I'm thinking about things that matter. Things that matter, that I think are important to the world. Not just to me. Because what's important to me doesn't reflect the whole, and only through bettering the whole and healing us as a species, as cheesy as it sounds, is the only way we're going to pull ourselves out of the giant sphincter that we've created of ourselves. And I do still have hope for humanity, and I think that humans are pretty good people. I mean, humans in general are good people. Humans as a whole are a yearning species. We want to move forward. We want to get things, gain things. We have to stop suppressing people. Stop telling everybody that freedom is all in their head, and stop telling people that freedom means that you get to do what you want. And find a freedom in the middle, one that works for everybody. A true working definition of freedom, go look for one. It's an interesting concept. So, people have thought over it for centuries. I hope everybody's having a great weekend, and I'm going to go enjoy the sunshine. Peace and love. Namaste.